Good evening, Miss Farah. This is Lax Group 65, and this is our last Lax week. This is Lax week 6, right? Lax week 6. So basically, these are group members. My name is Taz. Introduce
My
ourselves.
name is Siti Zuriadi.
My name is Adib.
My name is Haziq and I'm is Kranil.
Okay.
So basically, for this Lax, it's our group reflection, and we have a few questions here, and each one of us will take turns answering the question. So the first question: what did our group do over the past few weeks? You want to start somewhere?
Zuriani
Haziq
to
first.
answer.
Haziq first.
Haziq first.
Why me? um,
30
What?
seconds left.
our group do? Okay, basically this course Lex 2016 I think
2011.
2012 it's about comic strip. So we have done two comics, which is first comic strip and second comic strip. For me, to finish the comic, it quite difficult, I think. It's quite difficult because we need to to brainwash to not brainwash, we need to
Brainstorm.
brainstorm. Yes,
Brainwash.
we need to brainstorm to find the ideas, because this is not easy to find the ideas, to find an ideas to make comics. So what can I say, that we've done a good job, because our comic is quite interesting for me, and the drawing is nice. Nice. It's nice. Okay, Adik.
The past few weeks, we have done two comics like you said. First comic is about the sarcasm comic. It's about the doctor, and the second comic is a bit, I think, also sarcasm.
Both
Both sarcasm comics, sarcastic comics. So I think also it is a bit interesting, and I like the drawing.
Do have you
And the plot for the comics. So I think it's good. When it will be published?
Juliani, do you think that our comics is good to be read for all?
Audience.
I mean, for all stage of
Yes, I think
People.
it's good for everyone to read the comic, because the comic has a moral value, and it's good to make us learn about the comic, and do not do what the character do in the comics.
We learn something from the comic.
Yes.
When we read it.
Yes, we learn something,
Okay.
and the comic is so quite good and so pretty.
Okay. Thus, our comics is have hidden message. It's not directly, because we did it in a sarcastic way. Yes. When you read back the comic that we have done, so do you? I mean, is easy to understand, or
Yeah, I think it's kind of obvious, especially the second one, because as you said in our last discussion, that it's quite commonly known that, of course, Starbucks is the Israel product, so is McDonald's. In the comic, it was Starbucks, right? Starbucks or McDonald's?
Starbucks.
Okay. And yeah, so I think it's obvious to the Malaysian audience. I think everywhere as well, Starbucks. It's well known. So, and the issue I think is also quite important. Yeah, because in Facebook, many people are double-faced these days. People should be more direct and do what they say and write.
Okay, Ame?
Okay, so for me, what's the question again?
What was we discussed about the past
Oh, so what we discussed for the past few weeks. So we discussed about the making of our two comic, which is both which is both based on sarcasm. I think it's quite good because there's a research that Malaysian nowadays love or love to read something about sarcastic, something about entertainment sarcastic. I think we can attract the comic can attract the few good Malaysian to read the comic.
So
So for the second question is if Lex good for improve our English. I think yes, because it force us to speak in English.
practice it. Forces.
It force us to speak in English for 15 minutes. So I think maybe we can give credit for improving my English.
Yeah, I think it's all good because we have to discuss in English to and elaborate our ideas in the making of the comics. So, oh, you want to say something?
Yes, Lex is good for improve our
Yes, yes.
English because uh, uh, I'm feel so shy to speaking English. The Lex will can improve my English better than before.
I think, like, for example, when you're doing comic books, you have to know not formal English, but call it colloquial English. Like, just for example, in Malay, every day you have some jokes that might not be direct English, right? Like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And last week it was the dog. What was the one with the dog? A dog with bark but no bite. Yeah. So these types of expressions in English, you won't. It's hard to find in a formal setting. So of course we have to know not just how to write formal English and speak formal English, but just also everyday casual English. So I think it's good. Writing comics is good for that.
Okay, from my opinion, I think like this is good for improving our English. This is because when we discuss like here today, there is no script at all, right? So we need to discuss spontaneously. So basically, when we do presentation, most of us student will prepare a script that we will script few days before our presentation, and then some of us might, you know, remembering the script, and when the days come, the presentation days come, they will just uh, just pick it up what they have remembered. So during the last discussion, we need to discuss spontaneously, and then also it builds our confidence to speak in English, right? Do you agree with it?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's just not improving our English, but it makes our confidence, it increase our confidence to speak in English.
Yes.
Confidence level, yes, confidence level. Okay. Um, Next question is, what do we think about our group members? So, okay, this question is nice because okay,
Speak honestly.
as we all know that um, it is hard for us to find our group members, right, in first place.
Yeah.
Because most of us didn't come for the first week because we have some reasons like
Some reasons.
we we
There's some reasons.
have apa ni, work, some adik got works,
Yeah.
and there's many reason behind that. So for me, that was a challenging to find you guys. It took me 3 days to find. Actually, I recognize Ame and Adib, so it took me quite a few days to.
Oh, you knew them before.
Yes, I met Adib. We have done, we have went for an event at Johor. So I've met her there, and Amir was my friend in foundation.
Oh.
So I know him.
So you were in the same
I know
group.
him.
So how did you guys find our Lex group?
we post in Facebook. we
And
post
you
in
can page?
yeah, we post in, there's a page on Facebook that all the new students, and there's a page in Facebook, group in Facebook, University Kultural Malaysia 1 for our batch, I think 1317 I think.
1 3 1 3.
For our batch. So I and Ame discussed, and we decided to find our group members, and then we post it in Facebook, and then someone PM me on Facebook that okay, say that Taz is my course mate, and Zuriani is my I know Zuriani.
So who is
Zuriani
this?
My Abdullah.
Oh.
I don't say it's my course mate. So
Yeah.
I know Taz is now. Because yes, and then after I met you guys, it was very, I mean, good, and I mean, good lah. Easy to work with.
Easy to work with. Okay then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm quite happy about this group. Actually, something funny happened to me in my last lax. I got in a fight with one of the leader at the time. I came 4 weeks late because for 3 weeks I went back to my country, and I had a lab at the time. This is what happened. I found my lax group members in Edmodo, and I messaged them, and I'm like, okay, so when is your next meeting? And they said today at 2 to 5. So I didn't attend that one, and then I called the leader and I told them that okay, I'll come for the next one because I had a class lab 2 to 5, and I found out just today. So then the leader started screaming at me, and I started getting angry at the leader, and eventually I dropped the lax.
Is the leader is a girl or a boy?
Boy.
Oh boy.
So he's very inconsiderate, kind of rude. Because I have a lab, I can't skip the lab for lax. So compared to that, I mean, that experience, I'm very grateful for this group. No problems fighting, anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. Zuriani. What is your opinion?
Opinion about members.
Oh yes.
Okay, guys. I'm happy to work with you guys, and thanks for teach me how to make myself confident level to myself, and thank you because punctual every time we meet.
Hey, this is
This is not comics.
sarcastic.
Is it honest or sarcastic?
from my heart.
Better late than never.
That's all for me. Thanks.
For me, what did I think of you, my group members? I think you guys are awesome. the first person that I know is only Haziq. And after I met you guys from this group, I think you guys are a bit really creative. So for making comics, and thanks everything guys. I'm not crying. Thanks for everything, for all this previous week that I'm making it through, and we done a good job. Thanks guys. Next.
Okay.
What to say?
For me, just like Haziq, the challenge of finding you guys is, how should I say, maybe it's common for me because every semester I never come for the first meeting. Whenever there's a first meeting, I have a job to do. Whenever I have a job to do, there's a first meeting. So I don't need.
That's why you don't come.
And then I quite surprised with the talents that you guys have in yourself, like how Adib can do good comic, how Haziq can do his own comic, how others have their own ideas contributing to design and to make this comic interesting. Yeah, I find that very surprising. Yeah, because all of them is not majoring in art or whatever. So yeah, the kind of thing. And I'm grateful that you guys were very cooperative in previous meeting, and we don't have any issues carry out our job. So thank you guys. And the next question is, oh, we don't have any next question.
Okay, let me ask one last question.
Okay.
Okay, this question is general. Okay, so we have read. There's a lot of comics in we have read a lot of comics in Facebook, right? So, um, so what do you think? What is your experience and your feeling to be a comics? The sorry, the comics maker.
Okay, so the experience about being a comic makers, the comic illustrators.
I think comics are a very good way to convey an idea because there's a saying, a picture speaks 1,000 words. So sometimes from just a 5 panel or 30-second comic, you can get a very big idea. Rather than 2-3 page essays, you can get it in less than a minute. So it's very effective, I think, for conveying ideas.
You ask you.
Okay. For me, I've the one comic for me quite challenging for me to, to make the comic interesting. It's not okay in drawing. Sometimes our ideas is nice. Our idea is interesting, but the way we draw the comics, um, we we need to draw the comics more interesting. Let's say if the idea is big and the comic is something like the way we draw the comic is not properly done, the comic will not be interesting. So in order to make the comic interesting, we need to draw the comics. I mean, let's say I give an example. Okay, there's 4 panels, right? So we need to change the character. As example, a simple example. Okay, if the column one, the character is right there, the middle of the comics. I mean, the middle of the panel. The second one, if we do the same position of the character is position the same position for the characters in the comics, it will be boring. So we need to think an idea to make it interesting. That's from my opinion. It quite um, challenging because this is my first time drawing comics. Yes, before this I've drawn many character of the comic, but I've never draw a comic strip. So this is my first time, and so at least I have an experience. So maybe after this I will make my Facebook page.
What Facebook page? Comic,
Maybe.
comic Kakashi.
Because nowadays this kind of experience can make money.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay, I've read one there's one page in Facebook, starting from just drawing comic for fun, and then after that they publish a comics books. You comics book. He become an artist. The boys were just only 17 years old. He could make money from the comics. So
You guys know One Punch Man?
yeah.
You know the one who actually drew the comic. He's at the beginning his drawings were very bad. I don't know if you saw it. It was very squiggly, but the idea was good. And then when he went professional, I think he got some lessons. Now he's probably a millionaire.
Yes.
He's made a lot of money.
At the beginning, his
Everybody
drawing,
knows.
my drawing is better than his drawing.
Yeah, exactly. His drawing was so bad.
Okay, let's Adit. You have drawn first comic.
What was your question again? Yes.
Okay. And what do you feel?
About making the comics.
Yes, making comic. The experience that you have gained.
Actually, drawing is my hobby, and
Passion.
I like to draw. And making the comics is drawing the comics it is easier for me, and the only hard thing is to brainstorm the ideas to make the storyline. So if you want if to drawing the comics is not a big deal for me, so it's just a piece of cake because yeah, for this I am also make comics, but as simple like comic strip also. That's,
Maybe you can collaborate with Haziq in your Facebook page.
Okay, Amir, can you
Okay.
conclude?
I think drawing comic is a good thing to do because for these days comic loads faster than the videos in Facebook.
Yes.
So I think comic express more efficient storylines than what videos try to show. I think it's a good idea to draw a comic.
Okay, anyone to conclude that?
I think all of us can conclude. So it's nice meeting you guys, and hope to do a good job during LAX exhibition day.
when
I don't know.
Eh.
I don't know.
Lastly, is there any
Let's take it.
last word from you?
Thanks guys for
You're welcome.
that's all.
Okay.
Okay, that's all.
That's all.
That's all from us. See you at the exhibition if we come.